I'm noticing in our marking the text rubric that I'm struggling with underlining claims because I have some kids who are basically underlining everything. And so I was going to propose that instead of underlines, we have identifies.
Identifies almost all.
Right.
Yes.
So then it's like if you underline the whole thing, you didn't identify the claims, you just highlighted the whole text.
Right. Oh, you're saying call it here on the far.
Or just instead of the word underline, or we could change it so it says like underlines almost all claims and does not misidentify anything as a claim. Or, and may misidentify a few things as claims. And misidentifies quite a few things as claims. So which way would you, does that make sense? Are you having a problem too?
The only thing is we teach them the underline. I would
Right. So let's, okay. So are you comfortable, like for awesome, underlines almost some claims and does not.
Almost some?
Almost
all claims.
Underlines almost all claims and like does not incorrectly identify.
Yes. And what if we call the left-hand column category identifies claims? Does it have to say underline?
Okay. Yeah. Identifies.
Then it's more of a.
All right. So then underline some. So maybe that's too like that doesn't let them make any mistakes though. Just not.
Well, you have to.
Okay.
Awesome.
All right. Underline some claims and like may misidentify.
Incorrectly.
Identify.
Oh yeah.
Thank you. And then for this, for good, and may incorrectly identify, what's our quantifier? A few? Some?
A few.
So I was hoping we could look at our meet paragraphs and identify something in that we wanted to data cycle.
Cool.
And I have an opinion. I wanted to do the making a claim. Because it seems like the very, I don't think we did. I think we've stated this. Because it feels like the very basic, like, building block.
Yeah, you need a good claim to go forward.
Well, and they've been identifying them, now they're
Making them, right?
Yeah.
So I'm just saying, if we have a good prompt for the question, then they're going to be able to write it in the
Yeah,
plan.
and that one was hard for them.
It was really hard.
Well, it feels to me like they get stuck on the actual terminology, but if they want to talk about the book, so if we have like, how does Lenny feel or George feel when they're in the book, like, and then we move that to move, or you know what I'm saying? So it's like talking about the book and then shifting it to the narrative piece.
Yeah.
The book summary, whole book summary that my ELD 3 students were working in class, and we talked last week about kind of ranking information and having students sort through information. So this was coming from the ELD workshop that Colleen and I had attended, and I did that with them, and it was the best review for the book that I ever could have done. I did. So I gave them just this little outline. And these were all events from the book, mixed up. And then each page was one paragraph. So the introduction, and it says identify the title, author, main character, and background information. And then I gave them kind of a time frame focus for the rest of the paragraph. So paragraph 2, the first days. Paragraph 3, surviving in the wilderness. Paragraph 4, the last days on the island, and then life after the island. Rough draft. So they just finished writing their rough drafts, and I gave them this to kind of organize again. So they were allowed to use this paper with their notes, and then I gave them a thesis and a topic sentence for each of the paragraphs. So yeah, they just did their rough drafts, and then I had them peer edit today. I gave them a little form. They had to do a self-edit for their own, and then 2 kind of checklists for peer editing.
Did you bring any of their samples?
I do have some. So this was just today, like I said, so they're not their final drafts yet. But yeah, feel free to take a look.
Yeah, no, this one too is the level of vocabulary is very sophisticated. Swollen, bruised, crashed, wilderness, and this is level 3. I feel it's great.
And that's another consequence of you having given them the ideas that they then sorted, is that when they wrote their summary, they were able to pull from that language instead of like,
right.
they had the models of this specific.
One of the things I'm doing is pulling out their sentences. So for form-ups, for example, just pick it out of their paragraphs and say, how could we have either joined it, because oftentimes it'll be like two fragments,
Right.
Or could we break it down a little bit and maybe add some sort of transitional word in here or something. So that's been good practice for just sort of the daily.
So like a little 5-minute
Five
minute
o'clock
warm-up
daily,
and
how could we improve this sentence, what's going on here, and yeah.
That's great, because then they're also not realizing whose that is, even maybe the
Again,
person who
right.
wrote
Exactly,
it,
right.
right?
Trying to
Because
pull
it's
from
just
another class,
just a couple
Mhm.
sentences that you're looking at.